Hello my friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Pursuit of Cabin Living series by 4Expedition. I'm Scott Leuthold. Well, we're heading into early April and we've had some pretty sporadic weather. We woke up this morning to a fresh inch of snow on the ground, and by noon today it was all melted off, and as you can see, it's very beautiful out right now. Heather went for a mountain bike ride this morning. I've been working on the computer. Over the last week and a half, we've been working on the bathroom walls, getting all that done. We'll be working on the ceilings in the bathroom here real soon. We ordered some tile for the bathroom floor as well as the foyer. That comes in this week, so we'll be getting that done. Beyond that, we'll be working on the bedroom walls and getting those done, and then we'll go outside and start building a front deck on the cabin and a new roof on the front of the cabin. So those are all the projects we've got going on. We've decided to hold off on getting the chapel done before the wedding, and that's primarily due to the cost of materials. However, a good friend of ours that lives down the road, they have a house in Texas, and they have a lot of property there, and they said that they have a building on their property that if we want to come take it down, we can have all the materials. And that's a 2-story building, and I think it's 20 by 20, something like that. So that's a pretty significant amount of material that we could use here to get a couple of different structures done. And he told me that the building is put together with screws, so it shouldn't be too difficult to take apart. And they're about a 4.5–5 hour drive from here. So that's something we're definitely considering doing. If we do decide to do that, it probably wouldn't be until May. I tell you, we've been having a lot of fun here lately. We've been working on the cabin. We've been going out on the side-by-side, taking some cool adventure trips around the area, and we've got a lot of that to share with you. I'm really looking forward to sharing this episode with you, so sit back and enjoy the ride. All right, so now that we're finished with the drywall, we're going to go ahead and put in a wood veneer that we purchased on HomeDepot.com. So this all got delivered today. 24 boxes of this stuff. It's a weathered wall board, and these run about 1/2 inch thick. They're 4 feet long. Each box covers 10.5 square feet. I believe there's 8 boards in each one of these boxes. And these weren't terribly expensive, pretty nice, very lightweight. We're going to adhere it to the drywall with liquid nails, primarily because you can't really use a finishing nailer into drywall. These are very lightweight, so they should have no problem sticking with the liquid nails, and I think it's going to look really, really nice. All right, so basically what we've done here is these are all supposed to be about 3 7/8 inches wide. All of these here are 3 7/8 inches wide at both ends. These here, we've started to separate them. These are 4 inches wide at both ends, and then we have one over here that's 4 inches at one end and 3 7/8 at the other end, and then we have some that are 3 3/4 by 4 inches. And so we decided it was important to start to stack them by the width dimensions so that when we lay it on the wall, we don't end up having big gaps. So some of these, let's say this one here, 4 inches by 3 7/8, it'll start out at 3 7/8 and it goes up to 4 at the top. When you put the next one next to it, you'll end up with a sliver of no wood between the 2 sheets. So we don't want really that to happen. So what we're doing is we're making sure that when we put these up on the wall, they're always the right shapes and dimensions from the floor to the ceiling.
Now which end is the right end?
3 feet. All right, so as you can see, we've been continuing on with this project. We've got all this really beautiful veneer. It's a real thin, maybe 1/2 inch thick, rough sawn, lightweight wood veneer that we got from Home Depot, as I mentioned. But it's something that generally you'd want to put a finishing nail into some kind of a wood back. But because I mentioned before, wood is so expensive right now, we decided to use drywall. And then instead of finishing nailing these into the drywall, which they wouldn't stick very well with the finishing nails, we decided to use liquid nails. And so the liquid nails have been going pretty well. And I would say that we're probably going to end up going through about 10 canisters about this long of liquid nails. And it's still going to be significantly cheaper than if we had used OSB. But as you can see, it's coming together. We've got 2 walls going. Heather's working on this wall over here. I've been finishing up on this wall over here. Looks really good.
Hey, tell them about our cheat.
You tell them.
Good old-fashioned Sharpie. Instead of painting this wall brown, letting it dry and all of that, and worrying that the liquid nails wasn't going to stick, we just drew a black line with the Sharpie in between each one in case there's a gap, and it fills it in, just looks like a shadow.
Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah, Heather makes a really good point. We had considered painting these blue walls a dark brown color so that when we put these strips of wood up, if there were any gaps between them, we wouldn't see blue. But we were really concerned that by painting the walls that the liquid nails wouldn't stick very well to the paint. So we decided to take a Sharpie, and every time we put up a new strip of wood, we just draw around it with a wide tip Sharpie, and that does the trick. All right, well, we got this corner done around the shower. It came out pretty nice. The corner looks pretty good up here. It's not perfect, there's flaws, but what's really nice about this wood is that it's designed with flaws, so it hides a lot of our mistakes. Over here, Heather's working on the wainscoting side. We're only gonna go up so high above the sink vanity countertop. And then up here, we're gonna do that decoupage, which is basically like paper mache of pages of a book that Heather wants to do. And then otherwise, we only have this wall left over here. I've got to trim out that window and then put the rest of the wood on here and we'll be done. As you can see here, we have this temporary chair rail going across the top of these pieces of wood. And they're just screwed in. We're actually going to use different wood when we do the finished product, but we're going to unscrew these now. We put that on there in order to be able to level off all of the vertical boards below it, but we're going to take those off, and when we do the decoupage, we're going to go down below that chair rail. So when we put the chair rail back on, the decoupage will be tucked underneath and go all the way down under, so nothing will be exposed. But we're going to go all the way up here to the ceiling. All right, so as I mentioned, Heather and I went down to Taos and went to a used bookstore. And we were looking specifically for old books that we might be able to tear apart and use for a process Heather refers to as decoupage. So we have 3 books. They're all very cool books, and it's probably pretty sacrilege to tear them up because they're beautiful. They're beautiful old books. One of them here, this is a Rand McNally Grammar School Geography book, and it is super cool. Here, thank you. When you flip through this book, I mean, it is literally falling apart. And it's got old maps in it from all over the world. And there's some really interesting commentary in here and black and white photographs. And it just really teaches, it was designed back in the day to teach kids all about geography all over the world. Anyway, this is a really cool book. And on one hand, I feel kind of bad about tearing it up because it's just such a cool book. And in any case, even if we do tear it up, I will probably want to frame the cover and put it on the wall somewhere. Or if we keep it intact, we might still do the same thing, frame the whole book and put it on the wall. We also have this book here. This one's called Our Homes and Their Adornments. And this is a very amazing, thick, old book. And when you flip through this book, it talks all about, I mean, this is, I don't know what year this book's from, but it talks really all about interior design of old Victorian homes. It's sort of a how-to, and it's got countless chapters with beautiful writing and just these, I mean, literally this book's ready to fall apart. You can see that the spine's coming apart. What a great book. And it's a neat book also because, you know, Heather and I have a whole story here of building our home, and this is all about adorning your home. Whereas the grammar school, the grammar school geography book, really sort of touches on our strong desire for adventure around the world. We have a third book. The third book is called True Nature. And one of the neat things about this book, it's a newer book, it's not an old book, but it's illustrated really well with, here's a good example, with watercolor and some really neat, almost looks like handwriting, really beautifully written stories about this person's experience walking around in nature around their area. And we're a little concerned because this is 139 pages. We have a certain square footage we have to cover, so we're not sure if doing this process will cover the entire area, whereas the adornments book would definitely be enough to cover because it's literally probably 400 pages. But another interesting thing is this book is newer, and because so, the pages are whiter. And if we decide to use this and tear out these pages, we'll probably cover it over with a wash of stain or something to make the whole wall look a little bit older. So that's where we're at right now. We're in the process of picking which book we want to tear up and put on this wall. Heather did an excellent job here today getting this lower part of the wall finished. We're ready to do the decoupage on the wall, and we're going to show you a little bit about how that's done.
Want me to tell you what this says?
Yeah.
How to build a summer cottage. Cheap but attractive houses in the hot season. How to build a rustic arbor. A few suggestions on beautifying the surroundings with little expense. And then it talks about the price of things back in the day, and like shingles, $20, roofing boards, $9. Nothing like prices today.
But that's really cool. I think what's neat about using that particular book is that it's less color. So you've got these old, sort of weathered pages, words, and a few pages that have illustrations of things and some floor plans and whatnot. And that way, when we put art on the walls, the art will stand out. Yeah. Whereas if we use that watercolor book, I think it might be a little too busy and too colorful. Yeah,
like things will clash maybe.
And tell them why we think we don't want to use the geography book.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
I'm going to read you what this says in the beginning. And it's got the little library sticker here. This book was used by Frank Hayes in Watson Public Schools, 1890.
Oh my gosh.
1890.
So that book probably should not be torn apart. That is such a cool book. It's from the 1890s. It has the name of the person that actually used the book in school. I think we'll save that book and we'll preserve it. All right. So what are we doing here?
We are going to deface this book. We're going to do our decoupage on the wall in the bathroom, which, by the way, I've only done one time on some furniture, and I did it with the old...
So what you're saying is you're an expert.
I'm an expert.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I Googled it, I YouTubed it. I used Elmer's glue because I know you can buy like the fancy stuff at the craft stores, but this worked for me, so yeah. I figured it's good enough.
So is there some mixture, 2 parts this, 1 part that, or?
Yes.
You just squirt all that stuff in there and add water?
It's consistency.
Kind of stir it up?
Stir it up.
And then what, you just dip the...
Yeah. Have you never made one of those like pinata balloons when you were young with the strips of newspaper?
No, I've never made a pinata.
Oh.
I mean, I've done paper mache, like when we were in, I think it was 2nd grade or something. We took a glass bottle and we covered it in paper mache, same type of thing.
Yeah, so you're an expert too. Perfect. I don't know, I just do consistency with the glue just so it's a little bit more sticky because I'd rather adhere to, because we're adhering to the drywall. So when fingers crossed that works.
So when we put it in, we're covering both sides with the glue and
with the
water.
Glue and the water. Yep, and just
smearing it on there. Are we tearing pages out or how are we doing it?
I would like to tear it.
Tear it? Okay, to give it a little edge.
Yeah.
And then what do we do? Once it's on the wall and we got it all up there, is there a finishing? You let it dry? And
yeah, let it dry. I think what I did before was it was either a dry wax, like a furniture wax. It had a stain in it, a little bit brown.
Oh, cool.
We could do that, or we could just water down a little bit of our stain that we have here. Okay. And maybe just sponge it on a little bit on some of the corners just to make it look older.
All right.
Yeah, I'm an expert, so let's do it.
Let's do it. So you have the water here. Sniffing glue, do you want to eat it?
Oh my gosh. So, did you ever do that when you were young? Like this, and you went like this in school and you let this dry?
Let it dry?
You peeled it off and
on your fingertips?
Yeah.
Oh, or the wax, like you do that with wax too.
Oh, the smell. So anyway.
How much of this are we gonna use? You're just gonna pour the whole thing in there?
Yeah, the whole bottle.
Okay. So, say goodbye to our homes and their adornments as an actual book. By the way, oh, excuse me.
I love you.
All right, let me see. How old is this book?
What is that? What's this?
It's like a leaflet.
Oh, what this paper?
I don't know. Can you read what the publishing date with that on that was?
Oh shoot, Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. My hometown's Michigan, Upper Michigan. 1884.
Whoa, so this book is from 1884. I love this red side edge that it's got on it. But we're gonna tear this one up.
That's awesome. There, I did my part. Now it's your turn.
All right, so what do I gotta do? Just pour water in?
A little bit of water.
By the way, okay, so what we got here now is just a big bowl full of Elmer's glue. And I got this Elmer's glue at the local lumber yard, hardware store. You could probably get it at the dollar store cheaper. How much should I put in? All of it?
No. Just a little.
Little, as in?
Like maybe a third.
Like a little scotch? Skosh?
Just a tidge.
Just a skosh? Oh, tidge. A tidge, okay. There's that a tidge?
That's perfect.
That's all?
No, honey, mix it. Let's see.
Okay. What are we mixing it with? Fingers? Seriously, fingertips maybe?
Sure, yeah.
All right, we're gonna do, ooh, yucky.
Yeah, maybe a lot more water.
A lot more water.
Don't make a mess on the kitchen counter.
All right, here we go. How much?
Yeah. Here, can I have a look? I mean, we're experts, but you know, trial and errors.
I'm an expert. I've never done this before.
You did in 2nd grade.
Oh, 2nd grade. No, you know what I'm thinking? We actually used masking tape, and then we stained the masking tape to make it look like paper mache.
That's not the same.
We used to have to make our own book covers for our school books out of grocery bags, paper grocery bags.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing?
I liked that.
Does it qualify?
We should do that.
Does it qualify?
How does that consistency look?
Well, it was good until you added more glue.
No, that was glue and water.
Oh. I mean, it's pretty, it's drippy. Is it gonna be white when, I guess, does it dry clear? It dries clear, doesn't it?
But this doesn't smell like I remember it did when I was little.
Why is it called Elmer's glue? Like, who's Elmer? And why is there a sheep on the front?
It's not a sheep, it's a cow.
Oh, it's a cow?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a lady cow.
What's glue made of? Ground up cows?
It looks like milk. It's like dairy.
Oh, so that's smart. So you make Elmer's glue that little kids use, and you make it look like milk. You put a cute cow in front of it.
So Ohio cows, milk.
How many kids probably have just drank that bottle?
How many have sniffed it? Because I have.
Well, I tell you, if you want consistency in your stool, drink Elmer's glue.
Perfect. So this bucket we were using,
yeah,
it's been used for everything else around in the cabin since we started here.
We found this here.
We did?
I believe. No, I'm lying.
You brought this.
This was one of my overland dishwashing bins.
Right. So I was gonna wash it out when you brought it in from the storage out there, but I thought maybe that dirt and that little bit of brown, who knows what's in there, will add to the...
Yeah. Okay, now what?
Let's go rip the book up.
We need more. You sure that's enough?
Let's just go stick some up and see.
Okay. Can I give you a kiss?
Love you. Just you.
Paper towel.
Oh look, the jaybirds are here.
I gotta wipe. I need somewhere to. I need to wipe my hands, but there's no paper towels.
You don't need to wipe your hands. Tear a page out of this book.
It's dripping. It's gonna drip all over the floor.
Here you go. Pick a page. How to plan a house. The bedroom should, if possible, have 2 windows.
Oh, why should the bedroom have 2 windows?
One of each on the 2 sides, securing the draft of air in the heat of the summer.
That makes sense. So what they're saying here is you need to have 2 windows in your bedroom for a cross breeze.
Right.
Okay, we've got 3. But they're only on 2 walls.
True.
Okay, awesome. So, oh, looks like the book already fell apart. Cover's coming off. Oh.
I like this. Let's go.
We're gonna keep this. It has somebody's name signed.
See that?
Look at this. Got like our own little. Oh, look at. There's even some cool red illustrations.
Look, dedicated to the home-loving, home-building people of America.
We're putting this up.
That's
America. Us. We are
people of America.
We are home-loving, home-building people of America.
That's true. That is us.
But we're going to include you. If you're not in the United States of America, you're still a part of what we're doing here. Home. Yeah, by default.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
I love this little piece.
Yeah, it's just like a sleevey cover thing to go over this art.
Oh, look at that. Happy homes for happy people.
Shiny happy people.
Shiny happy people.
That's right. All right, let's do it. I'll follow you.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Let's just pick whatever page is right here.
Just tear out a page.
Renting and purchasing.
Oh my God.
I know.
Some publisher from the 1800s just rolled over in his grave.
Now let's see.
This is so crazy.
Oh, we gotta probably put this a lot closer to
the wall.
Oh.
By the way, it's sitting on top of our portable toilet.
Might need more water. This will be our first tester.
Yeah, I thought maybe it would require more water because you have to get the whole piece of paper covered in that stuff, right?
Yeah. Okay, so this is way too much glue, everyone.
All right, you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Where are you going to slap it up there?
Just wherever it makes it.
There it is.
What?
Our first decoupage, whatever it's called.
Right. We will clean that up and wipe this off a bit more here.
I love the old
color
edges. Yeah, it's like very old and aged.
I do like the thickness of the pages of the book as well because they are dense enough that it's going to cover the blue and all the love notes that we have written on the wall and the screw holes and the gaps. And
yeah, sure.
And the...
Yeah. So this is basically a Band-Aid over a big problem.
Lipstick and rouge, baby.
Lipstick and rouge.
Yeah.
Oh, you got glue on your wedding ring?
Yeah. It's only an engagement ring right now.
That's true, your engagement ring. That's true, so you can do whatever you want with it.
Oh, oops. There goes that book.
All right, so I'm going to pour more water in here. We decided that it's not liquidy enough.
Yeah.
How's that?
Perfect.
All right. So that was a skosh. Whoa!
I need to rinse that out.
Oh my God, she just put her ring down in this bucket of water.
Well, that works a lot easier than tape.
If you don't have clamps like this and you're doing house projects, do yourself a favor, go to Harbor Freight and get some of these. They're super cheap. They are so useful and we've used them so many times throughout this project.
Since this isn't the stuff we're using anyway. There.
It's great. Awesome. I mean, your guess is as good as mine. It looks like one page of words on a gigantic ocean.
Okay.
Do another one.
So you like this?
Yeah, I like the torn edge.
Or
yeah.
do you think
I like the torn edge.
Do you like that? We gotta find a place to put this so we can share it. Or I'll take a bunch of pages and you take.
Yeah, just. I hate to do this, but here we go.
Wait, you gotta find the. That one about the
cabin.
The summer cottage right there. This is the summer cottage section.
Take that whole section. So this whole section here on the summer cottage, we're going to tear out and we're going to save that for an area that is highly readable. Readable. That way when people are sitting on the toilet, it'll catch their eye.
Summer house.
Tear it up. Oh my God. Oh, that's painful.
What was this, chapter 10? Is that...
Yes.
20.
No, 20. Chapter 20.
20.
Double X. What's 4X?
Oh, let's look it up.
It's not in here.
There it is.
Part 5. We told, so look at how cool that is.
Okay, we need to save
We
that.
totally need to save that. I'm going to tear that out. There you go. We got to find all the really cool pages in here. Ooh, do you like this side or do you like this side? Because remember, we can only use one side.
Let me
do you
see.
like that art or do you like that art?
I think I like that.
This side?
Sword in the stone looking thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to dunk it in here.
Dunka dunka.
Look at that. You bury it.
Gusta gusta.
Look at that. That's the way you do it.
That's
the way you do it. Money ain't for nothing and your chicks for free. Alright, here we go.
Look at your 2nd grade professional work.
Oh my god.
I love it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm back in kindergarten. Okay.
I like it. And see, one thing cool, how there's some texture in where there's a little bit more glue. If we do a finish over the top of it, it'll adhere to that, so it'll look a little...
Oh, it catches it and roughs the edges up and puts brown on the torn edges and stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So for now, we're just gonna go off camera and get some of this work done. We'll come back to you in just a little bit and show you our progress, okay?
But we are almost done. I mean...
Really cool. I love the pages, how dirty, old they look.
Mm-hmm. You can even take like the little guys and
Little fill-in spots. What do you think?
I like it. So far, so good.
So far, so good. Look at, there's how the decoupage came out. Looks pretty cool. I really like this area here. Talks about building a cabin, shows a floor plan. Here's a little cabin in the woods.
I like this guy.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool too. Fox. A lot of really neat stuff in here. Well, we finished all the way around the door, around the window. I put the window trim in. This whole side's done here. Now we're gonna go ahead and finish the horizontal trim on top of this wall.
You're molting.
Yeah, this stuff is really caked on, huh?
Like a desert reptile. I don't know if people are gonna think this is gross or awesome. It's kind of both.
Exfoliating.
Awesome. Maybe we can use this on our face or something like that and it'll take away all these wrinkles.
Well, good morning, my friends. Today we're gonna go out elk shed hunting. It's getting toward the end of March. This is the time of the year elks tend to shed their antlers. So we're gonna go out and see if we can find some today. We're gonna take the side-by-side out.
Where are we heading today, honey?
We're gonna go on top of a ridge back here. It's quite a ways back, about 5 miles back. But you can meander your way up to the top of this ridge and it goes back pretty far. We're gonna go up there and we're gonna see if we can find some elk sheds.
more today.
Let's see if we can reverse it.
Not boots.
I'm reversing it.
Oh, you're not.
No, we got max tracks. All right. Where's the snowshoes when you need them?
Oh my gosh, right?
That's some deep snow. All right, good thing I have the max tracks. Here, you can hold these. Hold this. Well, I thought that there was a good possibility this could happen, so we came with everything we need.
I thought maybe we'd just float on the top of it enough to get through. Alrighty then. That's weird.
Woo! Who needs to go to the gym? Work out in this high elevation.
That sucks because it's not like a truck where you just rock it, you know?
Well, yeah, it is kind of. One of us has to get in the front of it, though.
Well, should we clean out in the front of it a little bit? Or
Well, I
just
think I'm going to try to back up.
All right.
There you go. Nice driving
Whole
there.
thing, I'm giving it a break.
What kind of mess we got ourselves into. I got these traction boards, thank God. The other one's buried over here somewhere. All right. That was pretty deep snow. We were almost through it though. There it is. Nice.
Boy, you could lose these because they're soft.
Oh yeah.
Like a pretty color.
People lose them all the time.
And underneath.
That's why they make them orange and bright green generally. I got tan because I thought it looked nice with the Subaru.
I feel like I'm on Baywatch. Isn't this what they would run with?
Yeah. Brunette Pamela Anderson. What a gorgeous day to get stuck. At least it's warm. Okay, maybe we didn't prepare well enough on our feet. I've got my hiking boots on. Heather's got her trail running shoes on. Probably should have expected that we might hit a couple of snow drifts. Side by side did pretty well though. And having all the right equipment along definitely helps. Max tracks, shovels, extra gas, tow straps. That's the kind of stuff we brought along. First aid kit.
Good spot, honey. Can hardly even see it. Put it in the hot pocket.
Put it in the hot pocket.
Hot pocket.
We didn't bring the snowshoes. What in the heck? Yeah, there's plenty elk scat here. This is definitely fresh droppings too. I would say that we're probably sitting at about 10,000 feet right now. I would think we climbed about 2,000 feet so far.
This is an awesome trail. Single track, game trail. Awesome. Where'd that trail go?
So the prairie dogs have come out for the season. This is a prairie dog hole. What's really interesting is right next to it, there's a coyote track.
Probably like hovered over the hole, like what's that game?
Whack-a-mole. Not a soul up here. Like a pelvic bone or something like that. And another, wow, there's a lot of bones around here. These are just bones everywhere, all through here. So this is one of the trails that goes up even higher, probably up to about 11,000 feet. But as you can see, there's still quite a bit of snow on it, and it's got quite an incline, so we wouldn't probably want to be climbing up this right now anyway until after the snow melts off. Heather was commenting that so many of the branches look like elk sheds. I mean, take a look at this. Should we just put that up on the wall?
Fall paint to it. Go away, bear.
Go away, bears. When we find it, yep.
Yeah. Like the end where it's connected.
Yeah.
What's that gonna look like? Is it just like a fresh, like
split off?
Yeah, or is it still like kind of
meaty,
knobby or meaty?
A chunk of meat on there? Maybe his brain. We found one. Oh, look at that. That's gorgeous. Oh, branch. Wind has definitely picked up. We walked that entire perimeter over there. Heather seems to think she found a skull. Is that a cow? There's some scat right next to it. Or is that an elk? That could be an elk. It's an awfully big skull.
There's these 2 bullet holes in his head. Like a cow.
Those could be teeth marks. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to find an elk shed this trip. Probably not even this season. There's still a possibility. There's still quite a bit of snow on the ground, and there's a lot of elk around the area. We'll probably go out a couple more times before summer arrives. We did just pass spring. It's pretty interesting looking at the road here and watching water just flow down this road into this beautiful prairie out here, out to the ponds. And that eventually runs off and drops down into the valley by our house. It's nice just to get out here and be quiet. We haven't seen a lot of wildlife, but that's probably because we scared a lot of it away with the side-by-side. That's one of the drawbacks of using a side-by-side for adventure into the forest rather than just walking into the forest. But what's nice about using the side-by-side is it allows us to get much further back in and find places we have not yet explored. Well, I've been thinking a lot about projects lately, and I'm the kind of person that tends to load up my plate with lots of projects, and I get a lot of stuff done in a short period of time. That's just my typical MO. As you probably can tell, we got a lot done here at the cabin over the last 8 to 10 months, and then, of course, paid it off and all that. That's a lot in a short period of time. This year, I had planned on building a 40 by 60 barn. I wanted to build the chapel. I wanted to build a bunkhouse. I wanted to get this cabin done. I also want to host an outdoor adventure event here in Angel Fire, a fairly good size event. And then, of course, Heather and I have a wedding to plan. So that's a lot of stuff. And I tell you what, I was a little bit burned out in my mind thinking about getting all this stuff done. So I kind of decided to hold off on building the barn this year and not feel bad about it. I was kind of initially feeling a little bit bad about the idea of, I guess, not getting something done that I said that I was going to get done. But it's really only been, it's not even been a year since I've owned this property. So if it doesn't happen this year and it happens next year, there's nothing wrong with that. And there's a lot that goes into that. I hired an architect. They already did up the designs. Of course, I have to pull permits. I want to drill a well. I want to put in a septic system with that, and I'm probably going to finance that all together. So that's really not something that has to be done this year. I did really want to get it done before next winter so we could park the truck and the side-by-side inside the barn and maybe have a gym, set up a little gym in there so I could work out in the winter and all that. But I'm going to forego that for now. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to hold off on the chapel for now, and instead we're going to get the front of this cabin done, and we're going to host the wedding right here in the front of the cabin, which is all just fine. The very first photograph of Heather I ever had that I took of her here at the property was sitting on this front steps. It's a beautiful black and white photograph of her, and I think it would make good sense just to get married in front of the cabin, and I don't think all of our visitors are going to care one way or the other. We're going to get the chapel done. It's just not going to be done before the wedding. So anyway, if I forego the construction of all those things and maybe just focus on getting our little cabin here completely done, just the way we like it, just the way we want it, and then we host a beautiful wedding here, and then I work on trying to put on this event with my good friend Damon, I think that's more than enough for this year. Especially considering Heather and I both want to do a little bit of adventure travel, so I got to be able to fit all that in as well. So it's been a little bit of a challenge for me to accept. Like I said, I'm the kind of person that wants to get a lot done in a short period of time, and I've always been that way. And at the same time, I also moved up here for a reason. I didn't move up here just to work, and build. I moved up here to relax and enjoy nature and take adventures and spend some time with my soon-to-be wife going on adventures, and we really haven't done a lot of that together. So I've decided to hold off on all that stuff, and I'm okay with that. I hope you're okay with that too. If you stick with me, though, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to go on some adventures. I'll be doing a lot of filming of that. I'm hoping to share part of the wedding with all of you. I'm hoping that this outdoor adventure festival that I'm putting on here, the Eco Adventure Fest, that's supposedly going to be held in mid-August this year, is something that I'll be able to share with all of you on the YouTube channel, and maybe some of you will even come and participate in the event here with us, which would be really great. So that's kind of what I've decided. And I was telling Heather just the other day, I wrote a book back in 2011. It was published, called Rediscovering Your Divine Music. And I've been thinking for a while about rewriting that book, giving it a different name, new book cover, adding a number of chapters, removing a few things out that no longer serve the book or serve me. And I told her, I said, man, I would really love it if I could take off a year and just write a book and just sit down and write this book. So I've got these two sides of myself. One side is just go, and the other side is relax. And so I need to find a happy medium there. And I think that's probably something that a lot of us have to really step back and think about. What we're trying to accomplish, how soon we expect to get it done, and what requirements are involved, and give ourselves a little bit of a break if it doesn't happen exactly the way it's supposed to happen, or the way we think it's supposed to happen, or within the time period that we think it should happen as well. So I think talking with Heather has helped me quite a bit in that, because she would just like to spend time with me. I mean, that's primarily what she wants. She wants to spend time with me, walk in the forest, go on adventures, go see things, go see places, and not spend so much time working on projects on the cabin. Now, I do see the cabin as an adventure. I moved up here not knowing a single person, not even owning a piece of land, and I knew it was going to happen. I knew I was going to find something, and I set out to build a cabin in the woods, and this has been my adventure over the last year. But I do need to take a break, and I do need to spread it out a little bit. I've got plenty of time. I'm young, I'm vibrant, and there's plenty of money to be made, and all of that in due time. And so I'm going to take it a little more slowly, and I'm hoping that what I share with you, the inspirational commentary that I share with you, or the adventures that we go on, or the interaction between me and Heather and our relationship, are all things that inspire all of you to live your best life. All right, my friends, I think that's it for this episode of the Pursuit of Cabin Living series by 4Expedition. I really hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed creating it. If you haven't become a subscriber of mine, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button. Of course, be sure to hit that notification bell to be notified when videos go live. And if you consider yourself to be an adventurer and you're looking for an adventure community, consider joining Team 4X by going to 4expedition.com/join to learn more. Until the next time, take care.